When Anderson Cooper asked the candidates which enemies they were most proud of making, unlike the twerps around him, Jim Webb mentioned someone who was not American. He didn't say the coal lobby, the NRA, or health insurance companies. He said this.
I'd have to say the enemy soldier that threw the grenade that wounded me, but he's not around right now to talk to.
Wait, he didn't say Christians or Fox News or cops? No wonder that in this crowd of wingdings, his answer brought nervous laughter. I mean, who would joke about killing an enemy soldier? Well, how about a guy who's seen real evil up close, unlike these toe-sucking progressives who think evil is spilling bong water on their Chomsky reader? Webb exposed the emasculation of the Democratic Party, incapable of recognizing real evil, be it domestic criminality or worldwide terror. They seek phantom enemies in coal mines and churches, which is why Webb was so out of place. He's the only person who didn't think America when the word evil came up. And so on that stage, there were two Americas, one expanding, one vanishing. The growing one is a dependence machine, thriving on division and cowardice. The vanishing, the stoic, independent warrior, reflected in a reserved, but sometimes nervous Webb. It's the thing about war heroes. Stockdale, McCain, Webb, they can't sell themselves. The modest men of battle can jump on grenades, but are flummoxed by political blubbering. So in this contest for who's the lamest on stage, Webb came in dead last by a country mile, meaning in the universe of right and wrong, he won hands down. Yep.
Again.
Nice.
What?
Read it again. That was great.
You're really going to get Democrats to flock to your banner.
That's so true.
You got the 47%, you're stuck with them. But
Yeah, Kimberly, they laughed and cheered about the emails. They laughed about security. This was a guy who brought up cyber terror, the only person who brought it up. He's the only one who gets it, and he's got no chance in hell.
No, but again, he's on the wrong stage. Somebody gave him like bad Google Map directions, and he missed the debate he should have been a part of. But yes, I was happy to see him there and to stand up and for him to talk and be like a normal person. The problem is he's not going to get the nomination because the rest of them have double wide pink erasers. Like you said, America's vanishing under their ideals.
Where has this guy been, though, for the last 5, 6, 7 years?
Well, he's senator. But I want to ask you.
He was senator, but then he retired. He didn't run for re-election.
He wrote books.
Yeah, he wrote books. I understand that he's been very accomplished, but he has not been part of the political process.
That's okay.
So to be,
well, Donald Trump wasn't part of the political
about
process.
why he's polling so low and why he didn't have much of a reaction, I think a lot of it is his fault. He's lost all of his old organization, most of his old supporters. Just read about, in Virginia, he believes in the Confederate flag, being able to be flown and all that kind of stuff. He is kind of a throwback.
Yeah, he is a throwback, but in a good way. I mean, Eric, this is a guy who can kill on the battlefield. It seems like war heroes.
Reluctantly.
But when they're on debate, look at McCain. They have. Is it because they've been through so much that they think political posturing is lame?
And everyone is so ready to talk about their achievements and what they've done. And literally, I'm listening to that story last night. I looked it up today.
It's mind-blowing.
You know the story?
Yeah, it's amazing.
He went after, there were 3 or 4 enemy that were shooting on his group.
Yeah.
He went after them. He took 3 of them out, took one of them, took one of them with him. As they continue further, another bunker, 3 or 4 more enemy. One of them throws a grenade. It's near one of his guys in his platoon. He throws the guy down, lays on top. The grenade explodes. He gets hurt, and then gets up and kills another group of enemy. I mean, he put down 3 separate groups of enemy himself, but we don't know it.
Yeah, he's a great Marine. He has a son who's a Marine. But Dana, didn't he diss your boss, George W. Bush?
I don't care if
he refused to take a handshake picture.
But that's they reconciled.
Geraldo, should I care about that?
Well,
should anybody care about? Do you think that I'm going to say Webb shouldn't be up on stage running for president because he dissed President Bush? I don't think that.
It is clear that if you're talking about political skill that is required to become elected senator and then president of the United States of America, you start to think through things like disrespecting the commander-in-chief with whom you disagree, which is fine.
But they disagree with him. 8 years ago, was he thinking of running for president?
You still shake the guy's hand.
I thought his problem, Dana, was I thought the shirt was too snug.
The tie was a little tight.
Yes.
But here's the other thing. Do you know a word that didn't come up last night?
What?
ISIS.
Yeah.
Here's another thing. A huge thing that the Democrats are going to have to deal with in the next year is whether President Obama is going to allow troops to stay in Afghanistan or increase the number. And the other thing is I would have been really glad to hear a question about what is going to be a generational struggle. if we have a problem of dealing with an ideology that is intent on killing us, what is any one of their plans to fight back against that ideology? Or what about the growing dominance of China? I mean, there are so many foreign policy questions that are actually economic as well that they didn't answer.
Do you want to hear they
didn't even get asked.
Do you want to hear everybody else's answer, though, on what they considered to be their enemy? Let's roll that real quick. National security. Go for it.
What is the greatest national security threat to the United States?
It's certainly the chaos in the Middle East. Iran remains the biggest threat, along with the spread of ISIL, climate change, of course.
It has to be continuing threat from the spread of nuclear weapons.
Climate change.
Our greatest day-to-day threat is cyber warfare against this country. Our greatest military operational threat is resolving these situations in the Middle East.
There you go. But, of course, it's climate change is more important. In fact, Susan Rice just said that what's causing Syria is climate change. These are our leaders who are in desperate need of therapy.
Go send them all to sit in an igloo somewhere. I mean, go away far.
Nuclear weapons in the hands of terrorists.
That's a problem. And many threats where it could be non-state actors with these things. Exactly. It's quite scary. Do you think he's going to be around the next debate, Webb?
I think that the Democrats should try to figure the remaining conservative Democrats that are out there, the moderates that still exist from the Bill Clinton party. Yes, I think they should try to at least keep them around.
Where are they? How were the ratings last night? Did anyone see?
15 million.
15.
It was a record for a Democrat.
I'm shocked it was that high. That's pretty high.
Not anywhere near the GOP.
No, but still,
good for
the Mets game was last night.
I
watched the Mets game.
I tell you, the ratings were high, but so was I. It was the only way I could get through it.
Great.
Oh, by the way, right? That was just so. What a
like a marijuana thing?
No, I don't do marijuana.
Yeah, all right.